Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Blacklogic. So I don't know if you guys are familiar that Tulsi Gabbard, who is the Director of National Intelligence, she provided an exclusive look into President Trump's inaugural cabinet meeting. She described an atmosphere charged with energy and optimism as the newly assigned team convened at the White House. Now, she also noted that all of the cabinet members are in a really spirited moment, highlighting the administration's urgency in implementing a lot of its strategies. And we know that the Republicans, for the most part, on every legislation and executive order that have come across the desk, even the confirmation hearings of Donald Trump's pick to be these department heads, they have confirmed. And majority of Republicans are siding with Trump. There's always one outlier that votes against some sort of legislation that they don't agree with. And that's usually those people who are Republicans. More likely they're independents, almost to their way of Democrats, in the same way how Democrats operate, who are leaning in the middle. They're more like leaning right. So you always have these politicians who are in these different parties who do not align with the party. Or again, some people might say, well, they have their own mind, they have their own thoughts, etc. They can still be conservative or AKA Republican. So I get it, but nonetheless, they're saying that the cabinet meeting went well, that it went off without a hitch. And all of the Republicans, the cabinet members, they are in lockstep with one another. So that is a good thing. I don't see that as being a bad thing at all. Now, Elon Musk, who is the leading department of government efficiency, also known as DOGE, announced plans to slash $1 trillion from 6.7 trillion federal budget this year. That is what Elon Musk is stating. And we understand the ongoing initiatives that he's been pushing with DOGE that also has resulted in 20,000 layoffs so far and many more to come with the many different agencies. And these plans are going to be large in scale because they have reduction plans by March 13th. That's like 2 weeks that they're going to make all these so-called federal cuts, and they're moving at a very fast rate. Right now, they are reporting that the EPA, if you guys are not familiar with the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, they're going to cut their staff by 65%. That's a lot of people. Now, I don't know the employee count at the EPA, but the EPA is a large organization. And they're going to cut 65% of the staff. And don't forget, when Elon Musk came into X, also known as Twitter, supposedly the staff was 4,000 people who work for Twitter, and he cut them down to 300. And I don't know too much about X. I'm on X. I post tweets, or are they X's now? I don't know what they call them. And it seems that Twitter, also known as X, is running well. I haven't seen anything to be alarmed that the social media platform is not running well. But again, social media platform versus a government entity that actually have field agents, inspectors, auditors, etc. You're cutting them down 65%. That's astronomical. And here's some of the things that Elon Musk had to say during the cabinet meeting today. I'm gonna back this up to kind of give you guys some preference here. Let's see what he had to say.
Urgent. We're spending over $1 trillion on interest. If this continues, the country will become de facto bankrupt. It's not an optional thing. It is an essential thing. That's the reason I'm here.
Trump continued to give his full backing to Musk's Department of Government Efficiency cost-cutting team known as DOGE. Here's what he said when asked by a reporter if he was getting any pushback from members of his cabinet.
Is anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, well, throw them out of here.
Federal workers are unhappy with Musk's approach and have sued to protect their jobs, as have other groups who are seeking to block DOGE from accessing and slashing programs. While Musk has waved it.
Now, I know you guys heard that what Donald Trump stated. He said, somebody asked a question, or I believe Donald Trump stated, anyone doesn't like Elon Musk? And then he was talking about, we'll throw you out of here. So again, even though they did it in a laughing manner, Donald Trump is homeboys with Elon Musk, and he doesn't want anyone to oppose him in any manner, or they may just get let go. So much for whistleblower protection. So much for whistleblower protection. I don't know if that exists in this current day and age. I don't know if that exists. I have no idea. Now, President Trump introduced a new immigration initiative that we're going to get on. But when we look at Musk and how people are criticizing him, Donald Trump is, again, he's the wedge. Either he's going to separate or join or make things steady. And so far, he's protecting Elon Musk, okay? And Elon Musk even stated that he's been receiving death threats. Richest man in the world, working for free for the government. This is crazy. And then I want you guys to put this into perspective. Richest man in the world, working for the government for free to fix the government, who is an American citizen, but he's originally from South Africa, who is a white South African. This is America. You got to love it. Only in America. Only in America will a South Africa, someone who is from South Africa, come to American to become an African American who is actually white, to become the richest man in the world because of government contracts, then become head of association that is not government confirmed, essentially, a made-up organization to audit and inspect the government that works for Donald Trump, but nobody else, who can pretty much does what he wants when it comes to the finances and fraud, waste, and abuse, then the Trumps protect him at every turn. Only in America. You got to love it. You can't hate it. You got to love it. That's the power of America. But nonetheless, this even gets a little bit deeper because Trump has introduced a new immigration initiative that is going to offer gold card visas priced at $5 million. I told you guys about this earlier, but it's a real thing. And this is to wealthy foreigners. So that means that who do you think is going to have precedent or credence above someone who doesn't get a gold card visa? That's right. People who are wealthy and rich from other countries will be easily accepted inside of America, except for those who are poor. Now, and a lot of you are like, good, we don't need any more poor people in America. We have a lot of homelessness we still need to take care of. We have a lot of low poverty, low income people that we need to support and help. We don't need any more strains on society. So if people want to come with the money, then bring the money. Gold card visas for $5 million. And this particular program aims to attract affluent individuals, including the Russian oligarchs that we talked about. And this is going to provide a pathway to citizenship. Am I against it? If we're going to have immigration, why not get paid for it? I know a lot of people are not going to agree to that rhetoric, okay? But again, what have you done for your country? What have you done for the American citizens if you're going to come over here with opportunities or make your money here in America? So again, I think there's another way that he's having people who are foreign to the land to invest in America. Because don't forget, a lot of people who are here illegally and legally, march on the highways in California protesting against America, waving their country flags. Not all of them was illegal, but a good amount of them was illegal, and some of them were legal as well, in support of their countrymen and women. But they were waving their country flag in America. And we always hear the flip side of illegal immigration. They come here and they're building and they're doing these things that Americans don't want. If you really look at these situations in retrospect, what you're going to find out is that they're taking from America. They're taking from America. How many people you know who are immigrants to the land, who come over here, they're working Uber, DoorDash, construction, fruit, medical assistant jobs, and they're sending money back to their country, or they're building a quote unquote mansion back at home. So why not have people who come here to invest in America so we can enjoy the fruits of the labor they're going to send money back to? Again, you may not agree with my thoughts, but that is essentially how the way I'm looking at it. Why not? Why not? Also, something about DOGE, they also plan, DOGE also plans, by the way of Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lord, to hold a hearing of how foreign aid has undermined U.S. interests. This is all about USAID again, U.S. aid. And this particular session that they're trying to call to order is basically a politicization of taxpayer funds and proposed reforms to prevent future misuse. Now, of course, the Trump administration has initiated significant layoffs within the U.S. Agency for International Development, with plans to reduce workforce drastically. And of course, by them laying off so many people from the USAID or USAID, it has sparked outrage and have proposed many legal challenges and has raised concerns about the future of U.S. humanitarian efforts worldwide. And a lot of people have been coming out speaking about the dismantling of the USAID and that it could have far-reaching implications for global aid programs. Now, when we talk about illegal immigration, going back to illegal immigration very, very quickly, and I want to point out that we have illegal immigrants from all over the world, not just south of the border, not just Central America, South America, not just the Caribbean, Africa, etc. We have from all over the world. But there's one country that have not been mentioned in illegal immigration. I want to show you guys something very quickly. Listen to this clip. I want you guys to listen to what she's stating about Cuban immigrants.
Almost 50,000 Cubans from the Miami area in Florida are facing deportations. That's because thousands of those Cubans filed for political asylum and were granted political asylum, except they went back and visited their homeland of Cuba. Well, the big deal is that when you file for political asylum, you're declaring that your life is in danger in your home country. And by these Cubans going back to Cuba to visit, that means that the entire process of the political asylum was fraud. The application asked for political asylum seekers to give detail of why they can't go back to their country, why their lives are in danger in their homeland. And Cubans gave those statements that their life was in danger if they ever went back to Cuba. So going back to visit Cuba after you've been granted political asylum indicates that these Cubans have been granted political asylum based on false information. Now, it's no secret, Cubans played a huge role on the re-election of Donald Trump. And a lot of them feel let down by this administration because now they're being sent back home. So I'm going to ask all the Latino community, and I will do the same, to please hold a moment of silence for the thousands of Cubans who now are going to be forced to go back to the island. So anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if she was joking in that last part there, because she made some really good points. She was stating that a lot of the Cubans that fled Cuba came to America seeking asylum. And again, they wasn't facing prosecution or danger within their country, because a lot of these Cubans actually making their money in America, whatever job, gig economy, whatever jobs that they had, they made their money. And then they took those American dollars to go vacation and visit family members back in Cuba. We thought you was fearing for your life. Why did you go back home? Yes, that's fraud. And a lot of them have been doing that from all these countries. They come here over illegally, they seek asylum or trying to be a refugee, and then they're like, yeah, we're going home for 2 weeks. Because again, don't forget the American dollar holds weight in a lot of these Latin countries. So they go back home rich, and then they're not being charged the same prices that we're being charged. No, American citizens, we always get charged 2 or 3 times the amount when you go to these countries, especially if you don't know the language. But nonetheless, there you have it. You guys have a great and wonderful evening. This is Black.